Have you or a loved one experienced rashes, intense itching, and/or amalgamation into an infected scar tissue tendril creature? Please call the SCP Foundation, as you may be eligible for termination, financial compensation. These are all signs of a highly infectious and lethal anomalous pathogen by the name of SCP-610. Don't wait, this deal is for a limited time before all is lost, so please call now! SCP-610, nicknamed the Flesh That Hates, is an incredibly infectious and lethal pathogen that begins as what looks like a regular skin condition. The symptoms of the early stages of the disease begin with rashes, itching, and extreme skin sensitivity. In around 3 hours, scar tissue will appear in the center of the torso and will quickly spread to the extremities. If you're looking to speed this up for whatever ungodly reason, higher temperatures will accelerate the consumption process. The newly infected will seek out aid from anyone in the area as is natural survival instinct, which can sometimes lead to unintended infection. Sometimes, when the infected is a really cynical bastard, they'll seek people out even if they know they're doomed, to give one last scar tissue covered middle finger to whoever is in the immediate area. Any living thing coming in contact with this SCP is considered expendable and to be terminated immediately. The most common method of infection is direct physical touch, although infected particles can be carried in the air. Particles can also infect individuals when in contact with the respiratory system. So just like that guy that railed gas station intimacy performance pills and dual-wielded raid cans to the Doom soundtrack to get rid of bedbugs, the key is holding your breath. After an entity is consumed by scar tissue, all of its life functions will stop for 3 minutes before restarting at 2 to 3 times the normal rate. The scar tissue will begin to move and grow on its own accord. After a while of this mutation, most normal human features will disappear under the infected scar tissue, and the entities begin to expand seemingly at random. At this stage, the head may become deformed and stretched like the tattoo of a formerly obese man that lost weight very quickly. The infected mass may also sprout additional limbs, and certain areas may split open to reveal a swarm of tendrils branching out of the tear. After an entity reaches the scar tissue phase, it will relentlessly pursue any uninfected individual it perceives. If the flesh hasn't grown some nice decorative tumors over the eyes, the entity will still be capable of sight. Should it see an uninfected individual, it will proceed towards said individual with the intent of giving it a deadly hug. If you're not planning on being assimilated, a distance of 30 meters is considered safe. Under unknown conditions, an infected individual will cease moving and root itself and spread along the objects in its surrounding area. This behavior is theorized to be the entity attempting to create an environment that is most suitable to SCP-610 growth. Like when you upgrade to a bed so you don't have to bring your Tinder date home to the pile of clothes that you used to sleep on. They've created entire settlements of haphazardly constructed flesh homes and fleshy beings that live inside them. While physical observation is impossible, the Foundation has used some neat drones that they stole from a fat guy with a fanny pack to study them. SCP-610 was first reported by the Russian government when farmers from a community near SCP-610's location in Siberia began to go missing. The Foundation stepped in and took control shortly after. Containment of this anomaly is impossible due to the vast regions that SCP-610 settlements cover, but isolation of this area has been achieved. The SCP Foundation keeps people out under the guise of a Russian military operation. If isolation of the affected area were to fail, the spread of the infected material could cause an XK-class extinction event. What I don't get is, does this area in Siberia not have any birds? Because birds can fly over a fence really easily. Nope, just googled it. Of course Siberia has birds. So either all this crap is just a big lie to cover another anomaly, or the SCP Foundation has a bunch of D-class hopped up on crystal 24/7 with a shotgun forever aimed at the sky. Apparently, the SCP Foundation has undertaken both in-person and drone observation of this anomaly. But that's in another document I couldn't snag before Dr. Bright's snitch ass went back on the deal. If you ask me, the SCP Foundation is a bunch of bureaucrats shoving D-class in their designated death rooms. You
redacted.
Literally one time, and then suddenly they start calling you a Keter anomaly with a high risk level and start trying to shove you in a box. First of all, just because someone borderline poisons a Foundation agent with hallucinogenic cough syrup to escape with some case files doesn't mean they're in any way related to SCP. They have to deal with that fraudulent Eurasian Customs Union copyright claim against them all on their own, because we want no part of it. Good luck with that though. We're in your corner because we really love this project. Unfortunately, I was unable to steal any more files on my first expedition to the archives at Site-19. So if you all like, comment, and subscribe with all notifications enabled, I'll know that you guys want me to raid their anomalous file cabinet again. This would be part 1 of what I intend to be at least a 2-part series covering this fleshy abomination. So if it does well, I'll know to break out my burglar kit again.